Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone out there. Welcome. My name is Fanny Reinders. Code Stencil, good day, greetings. Hi, how are you doing? For all the guys out there, my name is Fanny Reinders. Today we're going to be doing some live coding again. How are you guys doing? I've been trying to get my game up, doing some more live streaming. And yes, and it's fun to see guys from Canada, Code Stencil from Canada. Thank you so much for joining the chat at 1 a.m. in Canada. That's awesome. Hopefully we can have fun together. Today we're going to be doing what we always do, like ad hoc stuff, maybe chill. It's very informal, you know, these kind of things. So I don't really have a concrete plan, but I was thinking, you know, we are in the process of implementing Azure AD on one of our Winforms applications. It's an old job card program that I implemented for my folks about 10 years ago in VB.NET, which I've ported in the previous episodes to .NET Core in C#, which is cool. So now I'm gracefully, or very slowly, but surely, you know, porting it to a more modern stack within .NET Core, and also maybe splitting the things apart and making it more modular, and when it makes sense, use web-based components, and then eventually we'll go all the way to a more serverless fashion and have it like a Spa front end or Blazor or whatever. Wherever the journey takes us, we will see. And I'm so excited. So yes, if you join and please stay, because it's awesome to be all together coding. But it's important to raise your questions and your comments here in the chat window, just next to my head here, so that we can all collaborate. And without that, I'm going to start the show now. So, I think getting some music is in order. Is there any specific things that I need to talk to you guys about today? Or just move this mic a bit in position. Please let me know, because I'm just going to follow my gut, and I'm going to continue with this job card thing. We have a bunch of projects that we work on in these live streams. Oh my soul, Raffle TY, thank you so much for the follow. Wow, big ups to you. Thank you so much, and welcome to the stream. If you just joined us, I was saying we've been doing a couple of projects. Voice Trigger is one of them. It's an automatic way of when you say something on stream, it will automatically play a GIF or a sound. I've been working on this job card program that I will be doing further today. I've been doing Blazor applications, like modernizing an ASP.NET Core application to Blazor, and we've been doing here and there like POCs based on cool experiments and stuff. So yeah, you guys do need to stick around. It's awesome. I'm gonna share my screen. So what I've just done now, I have just cloned. There is a repo up at GitHub called JobCard VNext. So I'm gonna put that on the chat so you guys can follow along, right? So what I'm gonna be doing, in the source folder, there's this JobCard Cloud solution that was the idea is to sort of rewrite this whole thing from scratch in a serverless fashion, which is an idea still. And if you take a look at the branches, it's on the master branch. There's also a Function Monkey branch. That's one of the experiments I've done featuring Function Monkey, which was quite a success. But I think it's too soon for our implementation. But we'll keep that branch floating around because it's still relevant, I would say. probably never will get merged, but we'll reference the things there. So the current application, the current migrated .NET Core Windows Forms application, that's kind of now running on a more modern framework, .NET Core 3. And yes, Winforms runs on .NET Core now. It's not cross-plat, but because it's Winforms, Windows, but it gives us the capabilities of leveraging the performance capabilities of .NET Core. So we could have just chosen for full framework, which is fine, but the full framework will always be there for, well, always is a very brave word, but I'd rather go to .NET Core and leverage all the performance capabilities of .NET Core and have it eventually be cross-platform, because it won't always be Winforms though. And that's the kind of a mindset I want to take here. And also, it's a good code base to sort of play around and trying a few things, because it's very old legacy and it's a real application. My folks are using it still till this day. And I mean, the business case for me doing these kind of things is she's asked me for a few changes, right? So, and I couldn't make changes because I didn't have the source code. And we've came so far by taking the exe. Luckily, it wasn't obfuscated, so we took the exe. We've used JetBrains' tool. What was it called again? JetBrains. I don't know, what was it called again. Code something. Can't remember. But we used that tool to get the source code back. But get this, it decompiled it into VB, into C#, because I chose it to. Because the compiled version is just MSIL, intermediate language, so it can go back. And it was quite fun figuring it out, the crux. .peak, there we go, Jan Dev, thank you so much. Hey, and welcome. Jan is one of our subscribers, a Prime subscriber. Welcome, Jan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, that's JetBrains' .peak, I believe it's called. So it was fun looking back, and it was also fun fixing the reverse engineered code, because it's not it's probably 90% the ones I've written, but if it gets regenerated from the IL, so it's a bit different. It's just a bit different, but fine. It still works, and it works on my machine. And the idea is that we take Octotree. Code Stencil says you should install Octotree plugin in your Chrome. Now, what is Octotree? You can actually go and check what it is. Octotree is what? What does that do? Octotree, GitHub code tree on steroids. Wow, that's interesting. We will take a look at that. Code tree. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I might look at this later. Thank you so much for that heads up, Code Stencil. That's very nice of you. So I have this job card thing here still on my machine, and I would really like to create a kind of a solution or a workspace where we can get this current version working in GitHub, right? So that we don't have to rely on my machine for being always available. And that also I can start getting some pull requests from guys like Jan de Vries, for instance. I'm just saying your name because I really want you to contribute, Jan, if you've got time. So let's take baby steps here. Okay, so I think first of all, as is, let's actually as is port this whole guy to well, not port, but we're just going to be chucking this in. Is this now job card here? Chucking this into GitHub. Let's see. So this is the main application. List of packages. Really? Okay, let's remove all those things. There's this assemblies thing which we probably would need later on. Do we? For reporting purposes, most probably. There's the core. Just checking if there's any stuff that I need. So I'm going to be taking this. Let's stick it into the vNext. Let's make a folder in here, and we just maybe can call it current. We'll stick that in there. I'm going to close VS because, you know, cake. Okay, so that should kind of solve the problem. I'm still looking for a way to actually open up the Windows terminal from my Explorer, because I like the Windows terminal. So let's go to job card. Oh, it's opening up 2 instances now. CD job card cloud. Dip, dip, dip. What's happening? Job card vNext, and I can go git add this, git commit, message. I don't have the fancy git tool, so I'm just gonna go with edit current .NET Core version. Okay, so that's probably added a bunch of things. That looks fine. Oh, all my intellectual property is now on the internet. When I go git, let's go git push. I can't type today. And ladies and gentlemen, when you now F5, you should be able to see current. Done. Done and done. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so what we can do, trying to get still in the flow of things. Why does it open in preview? Come on. Shouldn't open in preview. Not that I don't like preview, but I just don't want unexpected surprises. Or we do. We want the unexpected surprises when we live code these kind of things. Alright, so what do we have here? Let's see if this compiles. Because in the previous stream I was preaching about do not commit your code if it does not compile. So hopefully this still compiles, and it does. You know, if I 5 this, yes, I've got some client IDs and secrets and tenants, but it doesn't really matter. We've got this guy this connects to a local file currently that has the connection string information for the database. When I click connect, it opens up a login for Azure AD, and it's kind of using a proxy to get there because this MSIL, is it MSIL? The library, the Microsoft client, Microsoft Identity Client library, for this native little pop-up screen that you see here, only supports in full framework, and I have a Winforms application. But I figured it out yesterday. I've done a kind of concept, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this in .NET Core. So getting this kind of window running in .NET Core, and it's going to be cool. And obviously, if we click here and we log in, let's see. What was the password again? I think the password was password. Okay, So we have this problem because I've changed the reply URL as well. Okay. I'm just quickly heading up to the... Hey, Gerald Verslaes, thank you for cheering 1 bit. That's awesome. Thank you. Keep up the cheers. Welcome to the code. You know you could have opened your PowerShell from Explorer in the current Win folder. Yeah, I do, but you see the problem is... Oh, wrong one. The problem is I can go PowerShell, right? It opens up PowerShell, but it's not the same as terminal. This is different. I like this terminal application. It's a new thing. It allows you to have tabs, etc. I'm sure Gerald will tell you all about this because he's an expert in these kind of applications. He works for a company that builds these kind of things. Oh my soul, Gerald Verslaes, thank you so much for the subscribing. Oh, I think my my sounds are off. That's why we don't hear anything. Let's see. Will this work again? Let's see. I don't get. Any case, I've got another subscriber. Oh my soul, this is amazing. Music a bit soft. No, I can up the music a bit if you want. Oh, there we go. Is this better? Are you guys here for the music or the live coding? Come on. You guys are not here for the music. So let's not get sidetracked again. So I've got my little company here and I've registered the application. It's one of the things you need to remember when you're doing Azure AD because it needs an application registration. And when you go to authentication, I've added a bunch of things here. So in this case, this doesn't work. So I've changed this a bit because I was trying something else. To do that, okay, that's fine. And let's see. Is that so? Oh, there we go. So in the code where it's actually opening it up, somewhere here I specify So Jan Dev asks, do you know how this will work when you're done with the app? I guess you don't want the localhost port configured in AAD, right? Well, it turns out that I thought about this. Because it's going to be a Windows, or it is a Windows Forms application, it kind of needs a way to post back. Okay, now it works. Hey, Code Stencils, thank you so much for subscribing. I've got like 2 subs in one stream. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's awesome. To get back to Jan's question, yes, I'm going to be having a localhost server running. Because it's .NET Core, I can just spawn up a server. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's going to have one endpoint. And what it's going to be doing, it's when you authenticate with Azure AD, with the access token flow, it needs somewhere to redirect. So I'm not going to redirect to an API. I'm going to actually redirect to a localhost instance because it's still a local application. And then I'm going to intercept the token from there and keep it in the cache. And it's going to be boom, boom, boom. It's going to be working fine. I'll spend some time on the stream to show you guys how that's done. I need to get started on Xamarin Form support for Winforms. Gerald, my mind or my head just exploded. That'll be cool. Xamarin Form support. Xamarin Winforms. Will that be a thing? I think so. Yeah, that is awesome. Didn't know that was or is the way it should work. Thanks for explaining. Well, it's my pleasure. Yeah, it's a bit different when it works when you have .NET Core. Let me just actually show you guys. Microsoft, I think it's Identity Client. Embedded web view or something. I found it somewhere. I found it somewhere. Just have to go and to check this out. So Gerald says not officially supported, probably community backed like JTK, WPF, Tizen, etc. But now with .NET Core 3, it can totally be done. I'm sure it's possible when you are in the house. Anything is possible. Anything. So let's see. We have an embedded. Where is that thing? Embedded view. I can't find it now. So when you're using the embedded view, it does not support the embedded view on .NET Core. So that's why I'm using this proxy kind of thing. I'll just actually put the music a bit softer now. There we go. Is that fine? That should be fine, right? Okay. Alright, so now I'm just gonna look for my place again because I kind of lost my train of thought. Open company. Here we go. Logging with Azure AD. So it's calling this proxy now to log in. And this proxy, I'm actually peeking a bit. Just actually go here. Just maybe do it a tad softer because yes. So this proxy is this application, which is a full framework application, and it has the client ID and client secret. It specifies a redirect URI. It just have to be something, and it takes care of grabbing the token underlyingly, right? So that's how that works. But it turns out we can still use this logic. Still battling to see if we can maybe, instead of opening this up in a process, because it's actually calling this process, I'm going to replace this code with something much better. And the way I'm going to be doing that is, just want to maybe close. It's got a kind of a reference application here that I was doing. So put it like this. You can actually see the code, what's happening. So we need a bunch of things now. So let me just see. Okay. Log in with Azure AD. So what we can do is I'll take this. I'll rename it to old. Or actually, I don't need a handle anymore. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna kill all these things. I'm gonna kill all these things. So let's do this over. This function. And so what we need first is we need a couple of things. We need to have I'm just going to copy it from this guy. We have scopes. For now, I'm just using this scopes user read and user group member read all. You will see why now in a second. Let me make that var. Let's clear some noise. Right. And then what we have is we have a client app. It's similar to what this is doing, right? So this is not existing here in here. Oh, it is actually. I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to be using this client ID here. This client ID was, I think, somewhere here. Yeah. Let's do that. Oh, scrolling again. Do that. The client ID. It's that. So I'm gonna be hard coding it, so don't shoot the messenger. I'm just doing a few things. And the tenant. What's that? I'm just copying and pasting from. I'm not sure if that is supposed to be organizations or not, but we'll get to that in a sec. So we're going to be using saying the public client application builder, and it's going to be using that client ID. Now with the redirect URI, now this is the place where I want to be redirecting to, and the reason why it's /a is because I wanted to have a special endpoint for authentications. I might have, and the reason why it's not root is because I probably want to be using the server for something else later on. So let's call it auth. And go back to our tenant and remember, let's call this auth as well. Oops. Not working, man. Come on. Copy is not working. I want to pressing the long button again. We go auth. Okay, so that's auth, and it's configured in the tenant and it's working fine. And this should be tenant. Okay, so I'm telling it now to redirect when you get the token. It should redirect here, and it will give a token at that address. And my authority is Azure public, and using that tenant. But my tenant is configured to, or my application is configured to log in with any tenant. So I'm not sure if it's even needed to have a tenant. Because of things. Okay, so we have that. Let's maybe keep it in for now, because that's a code I know. All right, so then I have a few other things. You have something called the token cache helper. Right, so that's a thing that was implemented on GitHub that I found. Now I'm just going to be copying it straight into your application. That should be actually... Let's call this authenticate or security. Make a new folder called security. And new class. Token cache helper. And then that's a static class. I'm just stick that in there. There's a few things I need to remember. to add here, like system IO. I'm just control dotting everything in here. Get all the errors. That's fine. Now we forget about that file, and we bring in the security thingy. So this is going to be serializing our client token to a cache, to a file cache. Okay. Just looking for the right. I'm going to precise this a bit. Okay. Okay, so what is next? It's pretty much execute. Oh no, it's not. These ones. The show should be actually live copy and pasting and not live coding. But you get my drift. So what I'm going to be doing here is I have an authentication result, and I'm going to be getting the accounts that's associated with this client app in the accounts variable. Can we do this much better? I think it's I like that. That's much better. Okay, and then what we're going to be doing is just do a control KD. There should be a link in here. So it's going to be trying first to get the token silently out of the cache. Alright, so and then with these scopes and for these accounts, the first one it finds. And if that fails, it will throw a MSL UI required exception. Then the builder will go ahead again and it will, well, then it will create a builder from the client app to require interactive for the window to pop up, right? In this case, it's going to be prompting the user to select their account, and this is the magic with custom web UI. It's going to be using that, and I'm going to be calling in a new web view class in there for now. And then the result, the same result, is now, instead of getting it silently, now I'm just getting it totally awesomely, if you know what I mean. This web view, it's a class that requires an iCustom web UI. Okay, so we need to have that class there. So let's call this, so it's going to be my form that I'm going to be showing. So I wonder if I can create a form here. And let's call this, for instance, the Azure login form. Okay, so this is my Azure login form. Done. If you want to go to the code, I need to implement what was it? That. Okay. And what it requires is a function called acquire authorization code with a authorization URI and a redirect URI. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a, let me just see where my things are here. I've now actually minimized. let me see. I'm just finding that project name. So it turns out that the guys from the UI toolkit at Microsoft created a port, because we most probably can use the normal web view of Winforms, but it's not Chromium based. And you know, we kind of want kind of Chromium things, you know, I would say. Stick that in there, and we're going to be looking for this one, the Microsoft Toolkit Forms UI Controls.WebView. Install that in there. It's .NET Standard compatible, and that should be installed. Yeah, there we go. And then just looking for that that code to display the form. Now my Visual Studio hangs on me. Right, so what we have in this case, just having this. Let's go throw not, oops, new not implemented exception for now. Okay, so what we have here is a, I need this as well. The private, make it private read only. Web view. So web view is part of the Forms UI toolkit, right? So let's just call this web view. And for some reason, I don't know why I should have this support initialize thing, but it works. So it's kind of a wrapper. High code stencil. So the commands I have not implemented yet. So if you say help, I don't have any commands to show you. So if you would like to maybe ask the question, we can then answer it if you want help. I'll take this out for now. So we have the doc style full, and we have we add the controls, we add the web view to the forms controls. And then when I open this up, I want to navigate to a URI. So in this case, I'm just going to go, for instance, HTTPS SDN cast nl test Azure websites.net. So this is our port of the Blaze application. I want to test it to see if this works. Actually, I mustn't throw an exception here. I'm just going to say return task from results, new URI, HTTP, blah, just something. Okay. So when this opens up, it's going to be navigating the web view to that page. And to show you how it's working, oh, I just thought you had to and then sound like Jeff Fritz since you said and then. Yeah, I had it in my head. And then, see, I will see if I can figure that out somehow. But we could use voice trigger for that to trigger it automatically if I say and then, because that's an actual and then command. What Jeff uses is it's actual. The chat guys says and then it plays. My voice trigger, it goes from my mouth, so it's much more automated, I would say. What do I have here now? Okay, so we want to be here. Login with Azure AD. so now Azure login form. Have that, and that should disappear in a second. Okay, so let's see. Return. Just going to return empty string for now. So what we can do is we can say var form is new Azure login form. I'm going to say form.show. Show dialog, which is what we want. And the cool thing is, when I run it now, eventually, here we go, connect, so it pops up this form, and in a second, it doesn't do anything. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't work for some reason. This works, right? Maybe my test site is not right. This should be working. There we go. Ah. What? It needs microphone access? No. Try again. There we go, that works. For some reason it was hanging a bit. But yeah, see, this is now what we want. So we have a web view, and this is going to be the core foundation of our application going forward, because I'm going to be using other web window from Steve Sanderson eventually. But for now, I'm going to be building my own UI using this web view from the WinUI thing, which is fine. Okay, so we have that. But the implementation of this of custom web UI, I'm going to be plugging it into the Azure AD, right? So instead of navigating now, I'm going to be navigating here, and I'm going to be navigating to the authorization URI. Okay, you still with me? And then how it's going to be, are we going to be returning that URI? We don't know yet, so we will see. There must be a way that we can grab the stuff, but let's just see. Okay, we've got that. Go back here. So instead of showing this dialog here, I want to be saying, you know what, use my Windows Forms when I log in. Let's see if that works. Connect. Oh, okay. First of all, I think I forgot something. So I'm going to be say this dot show dialog first, and then have it navigate. Connect. Please show the dialog. Cross-thread operation is not valid. Access from a thread other than it was created on. Okay, so it cannot be the same class. Maybe let's make a different class. So, public class Azure custom. Azure login custom web view. Okay, I'm gonna move that. It's weird because Winforms has this weird way of giving you the middle finger when using a lot of threads. I'm not in the mood now to mess around with it. So we can go here, we can go say form, login form. There's a new Azure login form. Okay. And then what we can do is we can have a string URI in here. Let's be a good boy and say it's a URI. We can say this is the authorization URI that we're going to be passing in there. And then take this guy back here and then say that we need to take the URI and you know, navigate to it when I load the form up. And can I say login form.show dialog here? Oh, this won't work. I need to do that. New Azure Web UI. So now it should work. So it creates that class, and that class is kind of a factory that brings in okay, so this is also a problem. Activating a single thread class from MTA is not supported. Okay. If we do this, it won't work at all. So it opens up the form. There's nothing in it. Having all these problems again. Web view dot size is this dot size. Can we do that? That should be fine. It does not show the form though. Let's see if we can maybe do this a bit better. Public void navigate string URI. And I can take this out. Hey DC Grim, I have an idea for voice recognition thing for Twitch overlays. it would be possible to also have it perform other scripted tasks. I like I know a bunch of at least 2 Twitch guys who spam hearts in a chat when someone subscribes, normally with a second rig. You mean like something like this, like the Capuchin things? If you do, hi. If you mean these kind of things, it's totally possible. We can. It's just a webhook, right? So when it triggers, instead of playing that audio, it can just post a payload to endpoint, and it will create these effects. Like if you say hearts, it posts it on Twitch. It chat itself. Oh, I see. Like post in like a chat. That's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. I wonder if the Twitch API has it should have a chat thingy. Then it's totally possible. I'm losing my train of thought again. Over here. Okay, so let's do this, and then we're going to be saying this.show dialog. Login form.navigate and give it a URI. I wonder if that should work though. Authorization URI. So we've got a bit of a problem that I don't know how to solve currently. It opens up the form, but the web view is gone. Missing in action. So what we can do is we can create. We could create a Webform class. If we do it here, just want to see what happens. What will happen if we do it here? I want to see. I'll do it there. Okay. That should work, right? And if we put this back, it shouldn't crash now, right? So it should not break. Cross-thread operation not valid. Okay. I'm gonna skip the song because it kind of, if you don't mind. It's the same here. This was an error that we got before. Cross-thread operation cannot be valid. Control access from a different thread that was created on. Can you trace the URI string? I can. Cancel that. You can be Googling this error because I had it before. And there's a way of doing this. Okay, so we need to create a new thread. So unsafe cross safe cross thread call. So control invoke, which is a delegate to call the control. Okay. I have to figure out how this works now. So let's see. It's a new thread. Let's start set text, which is this. Check dispatcher. SBT W15. First of all, thank you so much for involving yourself. Awesome. Welcome. What do you mean check the dispatcher? I have no idea. Right, there's a dispatcher for... Yes, how do you do that? That's the dispatcher. I've seen it somewhere. Dispatcher. How do we do that? Is it like dispatcher? Is it a thing? It would be cool to get a kind of example because I had a Winforms dispatcher. Okay, so I have a delegate dispatcher. I see it's got a begin invoke. Okay, dispatcher.current dispatcher. Is that a thing? Not a system service model, is it? No, it's not. Dispatcher. I've seen it somewhere. I've seen it somewhere. Okay, so it's got to invoke method here. Okay. So I'm going to skip this song. It's a bit too heavy for me. Okay, then they have a method invoker, which is a delegate. Callow Creation, raiding me with 12 guys. Thank you guys. Come in. I need 12 people to help me with this problem. So I have a Windows Forms application, and I would like to access the controls cross threads. So yeah, it would be great if someone can help me. I'm doing it in .NET, in C#. I'm not trying to figure out how to do that. I've done it before though. Welcome, Callow Creation. Welcome. Button click, cross thread. Okay. How do we do this? Method invoker, okay. I think that's the best I can do. Then we can go this dot C# lurk. So I'll lurk and watch and solve the problem. And you solve the problem. Callow Creation, I will try my best. Would be cool if you guys can help, but let's see. Oh, I need to go this here. That should kind of solve the problem, I hope. I hope. We'll see. We will see. Oh, for the folks that just joined us, it does not work. Invoke or begin invoke cannot be called on a control until the form handle has been created. Okay, so that's a bit of a problem. Or do I do it here? What's happening with this music? It's not chill music at all. At all. 11 plus hours of streaming. What? 11 plus hours? I'm gonna give you like a capigen for that. Callow Creation, that is amazing things. You must keep up that good work. And you know what? Go have rest. Man's gotta sleep. Okay, so webview.navigate works. Oh, zooming out a bit. But the thing is, maybe I must let's do this. Let's create a property, web view, and we'll set this as the web view. That should be fine, right? Okay, so we've got that, and then we can go, I think login form, it's going to be the same thing, .webview.navigate. Login form.invoke. That's authorization URI. And go login form.show. The problem is this won't work though. This won't work. Because we have the same problem. DC Grim, thank you so much for stopping by. Good luck with work. Got my own problems. Cross-thread operation. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Control blank. Okay, so that's a different problem now. Can you make this static maybe? I wonder. Public static. I'm just gonna call it stuff. Public static Azure login form. Call that, and that is a new form there. Will this work though? I have no idea. Okay, so back to where we started here again. Activating a single-threaded class from MTA is not supported. Its behavior controlled by attributes, threading model, C, image input details, usage, it's like this, okay? Okay, so maybe I can still make this work. This is now C++ though, that's where I get scared. Let's skip the song. Come on, this is not chill music. So code stencil asks, are you sure you are navigating only after the form has been created? And SBW15 maybe. I'll wrap all these Azure forms with invoke. According to the docs, if calling navigating code, you must wait until the controller has loaded for the operation to complete successfully. Okay, so this loads the control. And then we just call it, because it's been created successfully still. So it calls that. Wait, does it go missing here or there? Let me just see. Okay, so it tries to create an Azure form. That's strange. I'm a bit lost, I must say, honestly. I'm a bit lost. So we try this, which we say var Azure form. Form is new, Azure form. And we try that using form.webview. We can take rid of this. And it still won't work, I think. Because form.navigate, that's the problem. Oh, this is web view. There we go. That will still give it the same problem. And we could do that, right? So to solve our problems, but it won't show the web view control. Oh, missing something. Form would show dialog. And this will also break because of invoke. Okay, so it shows this dialog. I wonder if I should just add it instead of doing it in code. Go there. What? Okay. This is not what we want though. I'm gonna quickly turn this off. Where's my form now? Come now. No, it still opens up the... Where's the designer? Doesn't pick this up as a form anymore. Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to be adding a button now to the web view, to the form. But for some reason, my thingy is gone. Where's the editor? That's now really... I'm gonna quickly close this. Open it up again. It doesn't give me my now. Now it picks it up. So if there's more than one class in a file, it doesn't pick it up as a form. Interesting. Let me see if we browse now to the right place. I think it's C. This is the NuGet packages. And we should be able to go to Windows What was it again? What was it again? Oh, I have no idea. This is a web view. Microsoft, yeah, this one. Toolbox, just adding it, because according to the docs as well, we could do this. Now looking for the NuGet package. There we go. We are looking for this guy. Open. Okay, 6. This one, yeah. Lib, it's on the core 3. We're going to be adding this guy. In a second, it will pop up. What? Come on. But that's what they said. Okay, so this guy said here, setup, getting started. That's the community toolkit. Web view. Interesting. So this is not a .NET, it's a .NET Core application. It should work. Come now. Let's say a framework 4.6.2. I didn't see that earlier. Because it totally works in code. Okay, so going back to the problem. If we have, oh, not that one. If we have that, so instead of having, we could say controls dot add new button, and location is new location. What's this? Point. It needs to be a point, right? Make it 10 and 10. Name SSSS. Okay, so now if we run this now, we should see a form pop up with a button. There we go. So that works. Cool. So the form works, and I wonder if we should just use the, because that web view one is a bit wonky, or we should find a different one. Okay, so this is what we have. Toolbox, choose items. I cannot add it to a .NET Core application. But I wonder if we say hey, wait a minute. Interesting. Choose items. Let's go to here. Cannot be placed on the toolbox. Okay, fine. Now let's go for this one. Cannot be placed in the toolbox. Can this one be placed in the toolbox? Cannot be placed in the toolbox. Interesting. So can we use a web browser control? Yeah, it is there, but how do I use it? Yeah, Martin von Stam says it looks so 1990s. Yeah, welcome to the 90s. For some reason, so we're back to where we started now, because the web browser control cannot add it though, because it's part of the GAC. We must see if we can find a different one. Let's keep this song. Web view .NET Core. It is compatible. So web window, maybe what is web window using? Steve Sanderson web window. Let me see what this is using. So this is using web window. So it's using a bunch of things to create a window. We could use this as well, but the problem with this is it does not support what's going on with this music. That's better. Sinova Cost. Hi man, I'm trying to learn ASP.NET Core because of work, but I'm finding it too confusing. Now it happens to be that I know a bit about ASP.NET Core. So if you can post your question, maybe I can answer you, or reach out on me on Twitter at @FineyRenderers, and I can get in touch. Maybe I can help you a few things. But where you can go is you could go to learn ASP.NET, and then there's a bunch of tutorials and stuff to follow. It is really that hard to learn, or is it impression? It's really not hard. It's like so super easy. Once you get a hang of it, it's actually very nice. specifically ASP.NET Core. It's very modular. But please do reach out to me outside of the stream, on Twitter maybe, at Fine Renders. I'm going to actually be putting my Twitter name here. I will reach out to me and I'll get back to you on that one. I do have Discord, but I don't often look at it. Okay, so it's a pleasure. Let's see. If calling navigate new code, you must wait until the control has loaded for operational to work. So this is what code stencil has referred to earlier. So we can do this, and we could say this. What does this support initialize anyway? Okay. Maybe this should work in that other thread thingy. I'll call this Google. Just for now. You can say web view dot load it. Give me all the events, accessing past, click. Let's see what's happening. Control edit. Okay. Maybe this is something that we can look at. I wonder if that will work though. It does not work. I think we should stick to our little proxy. Yeah, that's a bit... Or what we can do is we can rewrite a bunch of things from the get-go. I have this this page. Make this page a web view. put breakthrough in loaded, and let's inspect the properties of the web view. Okay. There's all these kind of things is actually should be part of our web. I mean, we can actually create a Blazor implementation for this page as well, you know, and have it when you connect, have it automatically log in. That might be an idea. So let's see if the control is added, connect. Nothing happens. It doesn't call it at all. Interesting. It must be a different one. Web view loaded. Yeah, but there is no event for that. Is there? I don't see a loaded event. Line 30. Yeah, that's the one I copied pasted. But see how this works is it needs to be invoked by something. And you need to kind of wire it up first. Unsafe content warning displaying. Oh, supported. Blah, blah, blah. Size. Long running script detected. Leave key up, key down. Handle created. Handle destroyed. Interesting. So we can leave it there and we can turn on this one. So Raffle, let's open up this page again. I've been here. So I don't think WebView Control relies on Microsoft Edge. It has evergreen distribution model, etc. Visual Studio, I can do all these things. How do I get this though? Getting started. To build the application, you have to have both Edge, Chromium, and WebView SDK installed. That's a thing. WebView 2. So yes, so I've looked at this from Steve Sanderson. It's working. It will definitely do the trick, right? We can actually implement it. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It can actually work. This, but the problem with this was that I couldn't really get it to close properly because of I actually have it here in place. I've done it. Yes. Okay, so let's add this rather. Let's maybe use this to see. We're experimenting here, right? So we can do anything we want. Not cloud. We want to go to manage, and it is called web window. First of all, let's just remove a few other things. We will still use this web UI kit, so let's maybe keep that. Okay, so we'll go for web window. Excuse me, web window. That has been released this week. And I have this code already set up. So this is the Azure login form. We are looking for the custom web UI. So instead of doing that, we do that. We have a new web window. We say use web window, and we can say here login. Let's just remove that for now, and then we save that. That's what I had before, and that kind of works, right? So this works, but I'll show you the problem that I have. This opens up login. This will open up the login that we want, which is cool. But if I do that, it still goes back to that form there. That's kind of not really what I want, but maybe we can figure that out. So if it's Joe Soap at the jobco.onmicrosoft.com, and the password is that. And then now at this point it's trying to go to that auth flow. But maybe let's keep this one. This is actually very good to Ruffle, thank you very much for reminding me. I'm just going to use this one for now. I won't be using this for the mutation of the application, because we want still a mixture of web and Windows UI. But once we are completely web UI, we can use web window as the shell. You know, that's a very good idea. So okay, what we have then, we have this this little piece of code. Sinova cost, is this a personal project? No, it's actually not. So I've gifted this to the community, so it's under the MIT license. I haven't really stipulated this as much, but it's on GitHub. You can just follow on the GitHub page. I think it's here somewhere. Let me just see if I can. Here we go. Copy that, put that in there for the guys that do not know. There we go. You can find it there. Okay, now I lost my copy and paste from the other side. Happens. Alright, so what we have here is when the application starts up. Here. I want it to create a server. So I have a static void start server in here. Put that in here like this. Now I need a ASP.NET Core for this, because we're going to be having a web host. I don't need the start server actually. And then what we have is this guy here. The web host here, we install the latest version of that. And I think web host will be, I think I need a Microsoft App Builder here. So when I have a path called auth, just want to get rid of a bunch of things here. Okay, so then I just say okay. Okay. So when I start up my application, ooh, crikey. think that should be fine. We need to create this web host builder. So when this runs, application run, I want this to say and then run. First build and then run. That should be fine. Okay, that should be fine. Unless I messed it up. Args. Okay, we can put args in here. Do we get args? We don't get args. Let's say string args. If we want to pass args to it, we can. Okay, so that will work. So now if we run it, now if I run the application, it has a web server already on the background started. Hopefully now if I go to localhost 5000 auth, it should say okay. And it probably doesn't, because something else is wrong. Maybe this should run as a task. And task.start. Okay. So let's run this again. There's okay. So now this is running a web server in the background so that I can actually make calls to. Now if I say okay, it will open up that again. I can pick my account, I can log in, and it goes to okay. That's fine. Then when I exit, it should get me back my my token, but I don't want to exit myself. I want it to automatically exit. So that's why I wanted to use like a form that I can control. But this is fine. This is fine for now. Okay, so what do we have here? Init syllabus a task URI. No, it's wrong. Okay. What is wrong, Rafael? Am I missing something now? Okay, so above link. Assisted login, okay. What's this? So this is using the browser for the device code. I'm using the browser for the authorization callback. I don't want to use the device code though, because it's kind of tedious and it uses the system browser, which kind of sort of breaks the experience a bit. But it does work though. Okay, so now what I have here is a kind of a state because when I get this message, I want to be able to grab my token. So what we can do is we can maybe just store it under a thing called state. Maybe I think that's maybe a good idea. Let's call it public static class state, or let's call it application state. application state, and in here I wanted to be able to do things like two things. Callback URI, authorization callback URI maybe, and then login window handle. Just those two properties for now. And when I hit this endpoint, I want to be saying that the callback URI is the requests encoded URI. I'm going to signal OK back, and you see the web window, web view. I think the web view in my example here is a okay. So what I've done here is in web view here that is using what? Yeah. It's Azure login custom web UI. So it's Azure login custom. What am I doing? Let's do this. Let's copy and paste this one here, and I have this thing called copy, copy method that I've kind of implemented here with like these DLLs things to send a message to it. That's how I got it working. Do that, and that's application state, I believe. And that is the login form window handle. Okay, so now when I click connect, log in, I get OK, and it doesn't close the window though. So somehow I need to give it the window. Oh yeah, I've got to add, when you open it up, to load in that state. So application state window handle is window.handle. Okay, so that will work. So connect. Log in, and it closes. That works. So that's fine. So now I want kind of a message box just to show that it kind of can get my my authorization stuff working. Then I have something called validate token. Okay, so we have that. Now it's kind of logged in, right? Oh, wait a minute. There's something else I need to do here. I'm missing something here. Let me just see what I'm missing. Web window, is it this one? No, it's not this one. I'm a bit lost now. There we go. There we go. So we need to, instead of this, instead of sending back that, we need to give it the application state, which is the authorization callback URI. So that's the code that I'd gotten from Azure. What I want to do now is on the actual page where we all this, I think it's a main, right? Login with Azure AD. All right, so here. So this result, we can go result dot. This is the access token, or we can say this is the ID token. So maybe we can return this result as authentication result, like that. Okay. And then where is this calling from? Okay, so that's the token. Authentication results. So we don't need this trim anymore to do that. And then we can say this validation we'll do in a separate thingy. Okay. Paste this in here. For instance, doing a new HTTP client, authorization results, create my header. This is just to show that it's working. And then I would like to go to me, here I think me in content, and then we can say message box dot show content, just to see if we can get, because we can get the token. Well, we have the token, we now need to use the token to get information about me. That's also in the actual token itself. One thing we haven't implemented, but why is it not showing it from the cache though? There. So it's showing me here as Joe Soap. Given name is, I'm a manager, and there's my email address. Kind of works. So we can now update the things that we want to update on our UI. So that's cool. But one thing is that okay, so how can this now, because it tries to get it silently and that's not working. Okay, so accounts is 1. Alright, that worked. Yes. That's as expected. See the next time you log in. Oops, no. It's going to automatically do that down. See, you're already logged in. So it should automatically figure out that you're logged in. And explicitly we click sign out. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do a kind of a check here, and this Azure proxy can go away actually. So let's kill this. Actually, also on disk, we can also kill it. This is not needed anymore. We can do a commit. Edit the web window and use that uses Azure AD. That should be fine. Bloop. Done. Okay. Now we kind of need to figure out how. Okay, so this was the old code. Displays the login form. And when it's successful, it just sort of calls that sign in success. So we can most probably do the same thing here. Login form, login successful. That's a new login form. What is this then? Ah, okay. So we can just call this sign in success. Oops. Can we say this? Will this work? Okay, so now I'm logged in as Fani test, but that's not the idea. Okay, so Fani test. How does that get to Fani test though? It's interesting. Sign in, choose, change the state. Okay. So this is where it gets interesting. So if this dot sign in, get the company name from company info, get the company image, connect to. So all these things we need to kind of logged user. There's also, okay. What? Okay. Sign in true. So let's change this sign in. Panels clear, sign in true, and change state. So now how we could say we could get this from the logged user. How did it get logged user? Let's just see what's happening. Connect. Logged user, that's interesting. So, okay. I'm waiting. Still Fani test. How does it Fani test get in there? That's interesting. That's interesting. So we can say change state. All these things happen, but job functions logged user. So this is most probably logged user ID. This is set somewhere. Code is a mess. I can tell you that. So let's look for that in here. Okay, and all the instances is that. Cool. And can we find validate. So what we can do is we can say, I don't like the way it's set up there. Main. View code. Okay. When we go to, I think, login, that was called this guy. It's open company. Signing success. We need to kind of set some kind of because where does it get it? Gets color. Company name is there. All this stuff, and then the logged user. I see the logged user was somewhere, probably set somewhere else. Interesting. Because what we want is to reach out and basically do this, sign in success, and maybe, and then change. This change state doesn't make sense though, because this will change it back again. If we say, for instance, here, I need some kind of let's maybe grab the code. Okay, so let's grab that payload there, and let's stick this in VS Code. Make this JSON, format it very nicely. Okay, so we have an object, and we have a display name, and we have a job title. Okay, and we have a principal name. So we need some kind of way to create a user. And let's do this here on the state. And then what we'll do is we'll create a property called, it's going to be static though, and we're going to call it user, I would say, or application user. Application user. Let's create a new type for that. Now we say user. Okay, so in here we want some kind of, because it has some kind of ID. So we have a string and we say this is its ID. String, we call this name. What is it? Display name. And then we can say that's fine for now. And then what we need is a role. So we would need to say that is a string of, like a string array, groups, I would say. So that's the application user. And if we query member of, we'll get back this, which is a list of roles. In this case, it's a pencil pusher. Maybe we should also make a object for that. Let's do that. So application, instead of saying make it a user role, user group or something, create a new type, groups. Okay, and in here we have string ID, and we call string display name. That should be fine. Okay, so now the thing is that we need to refactor this a bit. So we can say var let's call this profile response. It's that. We'll do that, and then profile content. Well, just say profile. the profile response dot, I'm going to say result. That should be fine. Why is this not? Yes. Okay, so we're going to say that, and we're going to say that. And we say, for instance, group response is member of await task when all profile response and the group response has been done. Can happen automatically. Then I can do that, and we say group content is the group response result. Read as string. Okay. But I don't want to read this as string though. I want to read this as an object. So get this. I can delete this one. I can delete this one for now. It's the same one. Okay. This is OData context though. This one is an object, and the other one is an array. So I would say that we need to, in here, maybe create a class application for Azure AD user DTO. That has pretty much the same properties. And another one that says Azure AD user groups DTO. And this is, it has value, so prop can I do this? Maybe let's do this class in here. Azure AD user groups DTO, Azure AD group DTO. Like that, I would say should work or should do the trick. It's got a display name and ID, so we can move this guys in here. Okay, and this is a array of which has value like that, and that should work. Public class, okay. Property should not return arrays. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Now what we can do is we can tell read, I think it's read as, no, read as Azure AD user. That should be giving me a response, but it's not. So let's Google HTTP client read content as T. Why is this not Google? So we have HTTP client read as T. This is what we want, read as async. Is this a thing? No. I need some kind of extension, yeah. This one. System.net.http formatting. This will bring in that wait a sec, this is not Microsoft things.
Humanity will finally reach out from the deep well where it slumbered. And touch the tiny points of light suspended in unyielding darkness.
Okay, so come now, why does this not want to pop up now? Read as, okay, let's maybe go upstairs. Using system net It's right there though. How do I get this working now? Code Stencil, thank you so much for joining, and good luck for the rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by though. That's very nice of you. System.net. System.net.http formatting. It must be here somewhere. Maybe it's under the HTTP client. maybe, yeah, this one. It's this one. Now we have that. Don't we? Oh, come on, we don't have it. Really? We don't have that. What is that called again? T nougat. It's got that guy. Don't want that guy. I most probably can use. Yeah, let's just use that. That's fine. Just reads it anyway. So let's call this string. Like that. And then once again, when we have it, let's do that. And then once we have everything here, once we have the content and the group content serialized, we can say great. Now we want it to be able to var profile or application or Azure user is system.text.json, I think, dot serializer or something. JSON serializer dot deserialize into a Azure AD user detail. Okay, and we need to give the profile content dot result in there, like so. You do the same for, just want to include this in there, and do the same for Azure user groups. And it's Azure groups detail, like so. Okay, now I want to merge them completely. So now I can say var application user is a new application user, whereby my display name is the Azure user display name. My ID is Azure user ID. My groups are Azure groups dot value dot, yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is also new Azure. No, this is a application. This is a user group. A user group. I want to select this differently here. So this is the value dot select, and then I can say group is a new user group, whereby my ID is the group dot ID, and the name is the group dot display name. This kind of should work. mistaken. Groups is a group array. Okay, let's just make this not an array, but enumerable. We can do that. Okay, so that error will go away now. Okay. We've got that mapping logic there. That's cool. And now we can say sign in success. Let's say application state dot user is application user. Right? We don't need this anymore. We have sign in state. We want to clear everything here, and instead of saying this, we can go application state dot user dot display name. I think that should be fine, right? So that should be doable. So login. Let's not do anything, sir. Do I even call the signing success? No, I don't. Wait a sec. Signing success. And then I call change state. So something else is going wrong horribly here somewhere. Let's debug and see what happens. Connect. That's the response. Okay. So we have the result. We have the phone number. Azure user. We have got the Azure what? Okay. This is why. So JSON property, maybe. I don't want to use. Let's go. Yeah. System text JSON camel case. Okay, let's use these options then. JSON options, stats, and then for all serialization, we give the JSON options there. I think this should be enough, right? So, hello folks, if you just joined us, welcome. We are busy doing some coding on a .NET Core application, Winforms application. Got some DTOs running there. Joe Soap is in the house. But the groups are not serialized for some reason. That's profile content. Can you believe it? So group content. That should be fine. But welcome. If you're in the chat below here, just on the side, give your questions and comments and we can play. We have application user, we've got some groups. this one, pencil pusher, and state is that, sign in success, the body clear. Will that work now? I'm just stepping through the code to see if this works though. Sign in, Joe Soap is signed in. And now it turns out that the text so maybe I should just go here, application state, user dot display name, just to kind of split things up a bit. Because I don't want to change too much code, you know. Funny test still. So there's something that's still. Oh, that's my company name, silly. Funny test. That's the company name. So what I can do is I can still, because it's multi-tenant, right? So each company has an Azure AD tenant. So there's Joe Soap. And sign out. So we can sign him out. We can connect again. But that kind of works. Okay, so that kind of works for now. So let's maybe investigate here the tenants, how this will work, because how can do we have an Azure AD Graph Explorer? Is that something that we can use? This is what we want. Here's more samples. So we have users, groups, applications. Interesting. How can I get profiles? How can I get the information? And let's sign in. Okay, so this is now Joe Soap, right? My photo doesn't have a photo, which is fine. All items in my drive, it doesn't have a drive. My manager, it doesn't have a manager. But I'm looking for the tenant information. All groups I belong to. What? Doesn't have permissions. So let's see. Azure AD tenant API. Let's see, what is this? Features, some authentication, endpoints, directory information. Get tenant information. Rest. It's weird because it doesn't say. still have a company though, so this is the graph. How can we get started with? Because what I want is technically this. I want this name somehow when we connect. Company branding, it's not really important. But it would be nice to have the company branding for this name here. Get tenant company name Azure AD. REST API. Create a user in a directory, get the user features. What will happen if I query this? I mean, Azure Graph API Explorer. So we have the tenant ID. The tenant ID is here. It's this one. I can read it with the properties though. Why doesn't this work? Let's see, so down on it. Copy this. Paste this in there. Probably would say I need a entity or metadata. So okay, let's go for metadata. Alright, so no, that's the metadata. I don't want the metadata. What did I say? Entity. Come on. Get tenant. Hi, Kupuraka. Kopurapaka. Thank you so much for the follow. Very nice of you to join in. Welcome. Info. Azure AD API. This is directory objects. Maybe this is. Okay, that should be fine, right? So if we can try this. Hey, look, it opens up the Graph Explorer. How cool is this? Run it. So I need to get my 1 second. We'll give that, and let's see. That one over there, run query, not found. Okay. This is interesting because so let's sign in with my name. I think I have all the useful rights. I'm going to try that again. Resource not found. Let's run this. Directory objects. Interesting. What's this? Get directory objects from a list of IDs. Okay. I want the tenant information though. Get organization. I think this is what we want. Yep. So this is what we want. So we want this. Why does that copy there? paste, run. Okay, so let's sign in again with Joe Soap. Paste in there, run. There we go. This is much better. So this is the organization. Okay. So what do we have here? So we have the job code. We've got managed the job card company. This is what we want. This is good. So this is, in the next episode, we will most probably go further and query the graph. So instead of querying the database, when it's successful, change state. This is a bit dodgy code there. So instead of doing this from a database, we could implement it differently. Let's actually do it quickly, very quickly. So let's quickly do a we can do everything in this setup. Client. Let's also get this company response, and I believe we want to be doing this, right? So we want to be executing this as well, getting the company's response in there, and then what we also can do is let's make this organization response and organization content, and this is organization response, and then also add it to our little thingy there, and this is organization response response. That is cool. And then what we can do is we can do this Azure organization. What's happening with my organization? And then we say okay, wherever this lives is Azure AD organization DTO, which we will create in a sec. Generate type. I'll do that. It's fine. And that's the organization content. Okay, so it takes a while. Fine. Then we have another one. So I most probably can use the same method. So for now, we'll just create organization. And it has a, I think it has a name, right? So somewhere down here, somewhere. company name. So we just say prop string, say ID, string name. And that should be fine. And then also I'm going to make this the same because our actually it should not be the same. It should be here display name and ID. Let's maybe call this the same, display name and ID. That's fine. DTO also has that, which is fine. Then, my friends, what we can do, when everything is in place, we have our organization. Here's a new organization. And we can say display name is the Azure organization dot display name, and the ID is Azure organization dot ID. Okay, so there's a reason why I have this application objects and DTOs. We will definitely take a look at that on a later stage. So now I want to be able to say my organization there, that doesn't exist, so let's create that state in there, create a property. Okay, I need to finish up those. So we have that. That is fine. And that should be fine. And then here, when we select our state, company name text, here, you can just get application state dot organization dot display name. So that should kind of do the trick now. Okay. Something else is wrong. Okay, so let's maybe put it here to see where it goes missing. We should kind of refactor this code. Okay, null. Okay, this is weird. So I get this back. Display name and ID. Oh, there's value. Okay, so it's got more than one. Interesting. Okay. Let's do that. Organization and then have prop Azure AD organization array, and that's values. That should be organizations. Okay, and going back here, that's organizations. Dot first. That's fine for now. Let's see if this works now, because this should kind of work, right? So connect and look at that. It will go in a second. It will break. No, it broke. Values null. Oh, values. Why is it values? Come on, it's value. There we go. I'm so confident I'm going to remove the breakpoint. Connect. There we go. The job card company. See? There we go. That's cool, man. My information. Okay, now this will break because it tries to read the whole thing again. But it's cool how it kind of works now with Azure AD kind of semi. So connect. The job card company. We've got Joe Soap. And that's how it rolls. I'm gonna check in these things. Started implementing interface to graph API. Great, so that should be fine. So for all the guys that's been following along, thank you so much for joining. Let's quickly see if we can raid someone. Twitch. Let's see who is online. Yeah, Lean Coder. Let's go see. Let's Lean or Lead Coder. Let's write him.
What's up with this autocomplete, man?
Lead Coder.
There we go.
Let's raid.
There we go, mate.
Stay a while. We will.
All right, we got that.
Be back in a sec.
Environment build. Okay.
Right now. Let's go.
I got a question for you guys. Is anybody on here? I think Jack Render, you may, or Jack Concepro, one of you guys. Do any of you guys get on Twitter a lot?
Oh, I did not share my screen though. So I'm rating this guy. Go check out his channel. Lead Coder. Pair programming with open source with Python. So you guys must enjoy. I will see you guys again. Cheers.